around us here. Beautiful.
Mr. Patterson, big up yourself. How you doing, King? Everything good?
Fine, thank you. I'm doing quite fine. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
glad to hear that. All right. Now, the UIC was brought to my attention like maybe 2 years ago when I was put in your groups. And I've been, just looking, paying attention. I like everything that's been being said so far, but let's get the word out a little bit more by you just telling us first and foremost, what is the mission statement of the UIC?
Sure. The mission statement is to create a non-partisan constitutional republic of Jamaica that will protect the rights of the Jamaican people, their right to life, liberty, and property, and to create a safe, clean, and orderly country where all of us can live, earn, and retire with dignity.
All right, perfect. Now, when did this concept of the UIC first hit your head? When did you first create this or think about doing this?
I'm trying to pinpoint the moment when it all happened, but I started thinking carefully about politics at the age of around 7. My mother was quite an activist in one of the two parties, so I watched very closely. And by the time I got to 18 years of age to vote, I could not bring myself to vote for any of the two political parties when I observed how they function. So I have never voted for any of them, and I did not follow my mother into joining her party or the other side, because I found them to be quite divisive. They were dividing the people, and I've noticed that our European friends have always used divide and conquer as their strategy. So I thought it was, not a very pragmatic approach for us as a former slave colony to now adopt the same European mentality of dividing ourselves and fighting against ourselves. So I left Jamaica when I was a young man at 23 years old to live in Canada. And I realized while living in Canada that I didn't have to have a burglar bar in my house. I didn't have a fence around my front yard. I could just walk in, I could walk up. If I worked late at night and coming home from work, I didn't have to be afraid. I didn't have to be looking over my shoulder and be afraid of coming home at, say, 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever. And I realized businesses were open all hours of the night, sometimes 24 hours. So I said to myself, why is it that Jamaica can't have this kind of experience? Why are we living behind burglar bars? Why are we living in fear? I also recognized that in Canada, I was able to quickly develop myself. I could achieve great things very fast, and I could build a business very fast. The opposition to my growth was limited. Even though they said, I was going to a country which is supposed to be a racist place or whatever, I wasn't affected by racism. I was able to navigate everything easily, earn my education. Every business I dealt with, I could learn fast, I could grow. So I said, why is it in Jamaica people are so stunted? Why is it so hard for us to get things done in this country? And so when I returned to Jamaica about 11, 12 years ago. Because I always wanted to come back. So when I left here at 23, my wife would tell you, the day I left was the day when I started planning my return. So I returned to Jamaica. I returned to Jamaica in 2011. And I spent the first 2 years just re-immersing myself in the culture, in the system. Because by now, my mind has changed a lot, right? Because I've now seen a whole heap of different things. So I know how to and kind of reconnect. And as I studied carefully, it dawned on me with great clarity that there's no way on God's creation that Jamaica can be seen by the two parties that are a part of the process, a part of the system, a part of the philosophy, a part of the ideology that has crushed us and kept us divided and weak. So we have to do something about it. So in late 2012, early 2013, I conceived of the United Independence Congress and then set about to build it over a very prolonged and painful period that led us to now.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. When you have a vision, you have to pursue it. And that right there is going to inspire enough Jamaicans worldwide and at home. So that's a good thing you did. Now, you said some hard roads and hardships. Now, speaking of that, within your own party, I'd like you to address something because I'm a real person. So when I was I said I'm going to give you the interview, right? you're gonna grace us and let us have the interview. Someone started giving me all these videos, this and that about you. I went through all the videos. But right now, I'm gonna put it like this. Could you please address the coup and also the allegations with the bank and the troubles that you've been having regarding getting a commercial bank account?
Sure. You know, one of the challenges we have as a people in Jamaica and in our race in particular is that we have never learned since slavery and probably before how to unite and how to work together as a team to overcome challenges. So I created the UIC primarily with the backing of my wife and a number of persons who have come and gone over the course of the years. You know, because very few people have the stamina to stick with something as difficult and as improbable and even impossible as this. So we've worked with a lot of people. One of my strengths and weaknesses at the same time, I'm a stickler for process, for performance, for efficiency, for effectiveness. And so I found over the years, while working with my fellow Jamaicans, that many of us do not subscribe to that kind of leadership. They like a leadership which will allow you to get away with things, will allow you to not perform but still be pat on the back. Not deliver on your responsibilities but still be put on stage and said what a great job you're doing. Well, I don't deal with that. So during the course of me being president of the UIC, sometimes people get upset with that kind of leadership. We've had to vote some of them off the board.
Yes.
So some of those persons who were voted off the board held a grudge and continued to work with some people that were on the board, and they were plotting my overthrow. They couldn't see beyond what they perceive as my faults, because all of us have faults. One of my faults is that sometimes I am not as emotionally intelligent as I should be. So I might tell you things plain and straight up. In fact, I always tell the members of my board that when you come on this board, you must be prepared to have frank and forthright conversations.
Good.
When we go outside, we don't hear our dirty laundry. So outside, we're nice and immaculate and clean. But inside of the board, so we must take off the glove.
There you go.
Fight.
Yes.
We must dig into the problem. We must understand it. We must challenge each other. And so sometimes some people can't take the challenge. And so what they do, they leave with wounds, because, you know, if you can't survive on the board that I'm chairman for or I am president on, if you can't survive on that board, I'm going to call for a vote for you to come off. So you have some people, for example, some people on our board, for example, they don't understand the importance of strategic planning. They don't understand the importance of separation of duties. You have this task to do, not come meddling on the other task. Do your task and make the man over yourself the same task. And then we'll come and hold each other accountable. And that's the approach I have taken. So some people don't like that approach. So it gets me into trouble. So we had a coup attempt and it failed. Now it caused a lot of damage because it, you know, sometimes you have candidates, you know, and you have members who don't understand what I just explained to you. So they see things on the surface level. So for example, a man will say, we can't take it, we can't take the foolishness. What he means is he's not prepared to deal with the conflict. He's not prepared to understand the problem and get at the truth. So he will just leave, take himself. Now, if you're going to build anything in life, you have to be prepared to deal with conflicts. You have to be prepared to stand up for what you believe in. You have to be prepared to reason things out. And you have to be prepared to take a stance on any issue. And so I've done that. So the coup has passed. We have survived. And guess what happened? Our donations doubled after the coup.
Good.
So after them left, we have done much better financially. Now they did wound us. They did wound us, right? They hurt us, you know, because there's some people are looking on who, when they see the whole thing, they just kind of draw back and say, boy, that thing is to look on the problem they have already. And that's a part of life. So those persons who are not mentally strong to make it through, they kind of drop off. And then gradually now, as they see that we still stand firm, as they see that we still grow, as they see that we still hold the ship together, and the move forward, they will gradually come back home if they mean Jamaica any good.
True. Anthony B said, everybody wants to raid the barn, but nobody want to plant the corn. That's what that sounds like right there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now, okay. Now, regarding a commercial bank account, how difficult has it been for the UIC to gain one?
All right, super difficult. I'll tell you what happened. In this country, we have banking laws, which are designed not to treat every Jamaican equally, but to allow the bank to cherry pick who it's going to give an account. Not because they're following transparent rules, but because they can play the rules. So for example, the first time we applied for a bank account was in 2016. Okay? And we applied since then to Scotiabank, NCB, CIBC, no, not Scotiabank, CIBC, NCB, JMMB, Victoria Mutual, and all of them have done the same thing to us. They give us a list of things and say, here are the 10, 15, 20 things you need to get. We get them and we provide all of that. Then we'll wait and wait and wait, follow up what's going on. Then they give you another list of 5 things and you provide the 5. And you wait and wait and wait and follow up. And then eventually they say, how will you be able to account for where a person get their money from that they give to you? We say, well, what do you want us to do? I said, we can ask them what the source is. So if they say their employment, we can tell you it's employment. They said, no, that's not good enough. You need to be able to verify with certainty where them get the money from. So I said, no problem. Just tell us how the other 2 parties who have an account with you do it, and we will follow the same process. Tell us how the charity, which have an account with you, the charity will get money from all over the place. Tell us how them do it, and we will follow it. They said, no. We can't tell you that. That is privileged information. So I said, and how you expect me to solve that problem? If you can't tell me how they satisfy you, you don't have to name them. You don't have to name anybody. Just tell us how them, the party, and those organizations who are getting money, just like we, by donors around the world. Tell me how them satisfy you and hold us to the same standards. We will follow that too. They can't tell us, and therefore they won't give us an account. And so for years, we've been battling with this. Incidentally, some of those persons who now went on record and accused me of having a personal bank account, they were also on the board when we tried. And some of them had the responsibility of trying. And they tried while they were on the board and they failed, just like how others before them on the board have tried and failed. But yet still, in order to try to destroy my character, they go out there and spread innuendo about me I use personal bank account. Of course we use personal bank account because we don't have a commercial bank account. But what we do though, but hear this, Mr. Red, Daddy Red, what we do, even though we're using a personal bank account, we have proper checks and balances by having signing officers. So basically, I don't sign anything where the refund is coming to me. Anything which is going outside of the organization to anybody else, it's me and the treasurer, or the treasurer and the chairman, or the treasurer and the general secretary. I don't have dictatorial powers over our finances. I am held to the same strict standards as any other CEO in a well-run organization. So we use a personal bank account, but it's 100% dedicated to the UIC, and there's no commingling of funds. We don't mix up UIC money with my money. UIC money, UIC money, and every month or so, a report comes from the treasurer via the finance committee, which has members on that finance committee who are also independent of myself. Chartered professional accountants, MBAs, other people with accounting experience sit on that board, and they have responsibility to make sure everything is okay. So all the lies that they may tell will not work. I know they're trying hard to destroy my character because they know if they destroy me, they destroy the movement. but we won't
Yeah.
allow it.
And you know it is, they have spies and agents everywhere. And as an accountant man myself since 1999, and I did some of the math regarding 9/11, so I know the key word to this is audit. And if there was a problem, you would have failed your audit.
Absolutely. And we have audits every year. Every year we have an independent audit firm, a chartered accountant firm that performs an audit. And guess what? Unlike the other two parties, who I don't see their records, they sit on the commission called the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. That body is actually a bipartisan body controlled by the two parties to control the electoral process. And they must get our audited statements. So we are held, the UIC is held to the highest standard compared to any other party in Jamaica, because we are fully under the microscope of two other parties that look forward to our demise, plus independent auditors, plus our own internal controls. So we're very clean. We're the cleanest party in Jamaica, and by extension, the most transparent party in Jamaica.
Because it's public record, your audits, if I'm correct, right?
Say that again?
You have the audit results. Is it public records?
Yes, public record, public records. And we publish it. We actually come online and show the details of our audit reports. We're not afraid. Every dollar we earn, we share that with the public. This year, 2022, we would have gained $5 million, which is peanuts, chicken feed, 5 million Jamaican dollars. Last year, we had 3 million Jamaican dollars. All the years before last year, we only got $6 million from 2013 until 2021. We only had 6 million in total from outside contribution. This movement has been largely funded by me personally and my wife. So there's nothing to steal unless I can steal from myself.
Exactly, that don't make no sense. Thank you. Now, I like how you touched on the banking aspect. So now I have three things. You can answer them in any order. Let's say hypothetically, right now, UIC is the controlling party in Jamaica right now. So how would you tackle these three situations? Infrastructure, should I say four now? Jobs, crime, and how the banks deal with people.
Sure. Let me back up a bit and tell you our approach to solve all of those.
Good.
Jamaica's fundamental problem. Our fundamental problem can be broken down into two parts. Part number one is leadership, or the lack thereof. Part number two is our system of governance, which does not provide the appropriate checks and balances we need. So what you're going to find over the history of Jamaica, it doesn't matter what a political leader tells you they want to do or they plan to do. Because when they get elected, the system that they're operating in is a system that encourages corruption and makes it difficult for you to make the changes necessary. So the UIC, our first mission is to change the system. So we're going to give Jamaica its own constitution. Right now we're operating under a colonial constitution written by our colonial masters and by the colonial-minded leaders that we have had since 1944 to 1960 to now. So we have to change the mindset of Jamaica, and to change that mindset, we have to change the constitution that governs how we govern ourselves. So we're going to change the constitution. Now, when we change that constitution, it's going to affect all the areas you just talked about. Let's take one. Let's take infrastructure. Right now, Jamaica's infrastructure process is very convoluted and full of corruption from every angle. Now, what the UIC is going to do is ensure that you have, for the first time in our history, subject matter experts as ministers of government, not politicians.
Good.
So follow me. Right now, the way a person becomes a minister of government is that their party wins. The prime minister, that is the leader of their party, appoints them to run the various ministries, some of them. And they also appoint some senators that the prime minister single-handedly handpick without any form of checks and balances. He gets to appoint some people he like to become senators and then appoint them as ministers. whether or not they're qualified to do the job. The UIC system is going to change that. Politicians will remain politicians. So all of the elected MPs and all of the senators are going to focus on providing oversight, not getting their hands in the cookie jar. They will not have any ability to spend the money, to touch the money, to influence the money. They're going to focus on monitoring, representing the people. The president now, we're going to have a president that is elected by the people, not a prime minister, which is a backroom selection by a party. The president who is elected by the people under the UIC system, working with a small team of 3 vice presidents from Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey, together with his running mate, a Gen Sec and a Treasury Secretary. The 6 of them are going to now nominate qualified and competent Jamaicans from anywhere around the world with the skills needed to run those ministries.
Good.
When they nominate them, the Senate, which will now be an elected Senate, right now it's an appointed Senate, we appoint a different company. We're now going to have an elected Senate, where those senators are elected by their parishes. They are going to vet these nominees, these subject matter experts, vet them, and then make a recommendation to the House of Representatives to vote them in or vote them out. So Jamaica is going to have an executive branch, which is staff with the highest caliber and competent person to design our infrastructure, manage our education, manage our healthcare, manage our industries, manage our overall development as a nation. Because now we're going to be serious about development and stop playing politics with the lives of the Jamaican people.
Love that. You answered everything. And that does include the situation in the cockpit country, obviously.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I can elaborate on the cockpit country a little bit. We do see bauxite mining as a viable industry for Jamaica.
Exactly.
Bauxite is a form of, it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. So what they're doing, they allow foreign companies to come in and dig up and destroy our most precious resource, which is our land.
Yep.
Okay? Land is not renewable. When you lose it, you lose it.
True.
So having bauxite mining as a key part of your foreign exchange earner is destructive. So the UIC is going to ban bauxite mining in Jamaica to preserve our land for organic farming, to preserve and protect our watershed, to preserve and protect our health as a people, and to focus on sustainable development as opposed to short-term, short-sighted development. So we're going to ban bauxite mining, and we're going to protect the agricultural industry and make Jamaica an organic farming powerhouse around the world. We're going to model Jamaica after the Netherlands model, where a small country in Europe has been able to become the 2nd largest producer of food around the world. They don't have what we have. They don't have the kind of land we have. They don't have the environment or climate we have. But yet they will be able to do very well. We are going to make Jamaica the organic food capital of the world. We're going to ship quality, healthy foods to everybody around the world and make that Jamaica's #1 industry, because that's what God has blessed us with. God has given us the land, the sun, the sea, and the beautiful people. And it's for us to use those resources properly. And if we do that, Jamaica will become not just the Singapore of the Caribbean, but the richest country on the planet, because riches is not just measured in money, it must be measured in lifestyle and the health of our people as well.
Exactly, I like that, because then therefore you'll be limiting your imports and, you know, increasing your exports so the GDP can get higher. And also, 2 main commodities that Jamaica have.
Yeah.
Wheat and the reggae music, because I am the reggae ambassador. So how would those 2 be incorporated in the UIC model?
Well, absolutely. Basically, once you liberate the Jamaican people and take the politics and corruption out of the way, entertainment will bust out.
Yes.
Look what we're going to do with tourism, which is going to really bust everything from reggae to food to you name it. When you shift Jamaica from the mindset of all-inclusive resorts to a tourism model where the entire Jamaica is the resort. Follow me now. The entire Jamaica is the resort. So
like
that
New York.
Yes, that means your brother and sister, your auntie and uncle, nephew and niece, your mother and father go and live in a tourist resort. We, the Jamaican people, are now going to have good roads, good sidewalk, manicured environment, make it look good, smell good and feel good. Now, when you live in that, your spirit will rise like crazy. Your productivity will go through the roof. And guess what? All of we now go and participate in the tourism product. Anybody that wants to use them house as a bed and breakfast will be able to do so.
Yep. There you go.
You can now go easily and have quality entertainment down a Raytown, in a Tivoli, in a Braze River, in a Arton Court over Anova, in a Lucy, in a Port Antonio, in a St. Anne's Bay. It's spread out. The whole tourism product spread out. And so now instead of only being 150,000 jobs in the tourism sector, now you're going to have more jobs than people in this country because of the way now we would have made the entire Jamaica the product of tourism, but not for the tourists. Make it for we, because we respect we, and then because we respect we and we love we can now entertain and treat the tourists with the best of respect and love and entertainment, and enough of them going to want to come back. And all of them going to tell their family and friends. And instead of having what we have now, we're going to triple and quadruple the tourism arrival and increase the income from that, and therefore revalue our dollar, because now we're maxing out agriculture, and we're maxing out entertainment, and we're maxing out providing accommodation, and we're maxing out providing all kind of subsidiary services. And now Jamaica is going to be one of the wealthiest places on earth to live because we designed it so, not by accident.
Love that. Because I always said when they got rid of Pasa, that's when it messed up the economy, because all the ghetto youths, they could contract anybody around the world to eat the food. And also the hotels had something to do with that. And speaking of the hotels, what would be done regarding the situation in the hotels where all of the money is leaving Jamaica, going overseas elsewhere, and at the same time, it's like they treat the locals like they're no good, and that whole model needs to be redone. What are your views on that?
If your government doesn't care about you, then those who come into the country have no reason to do either.
True.
So when you have a government that puts the people first now, a government that is building, let me tell you, this is how I look at it. When I observe our politicians, when you go to Fidem yard, when you go to Fidem house, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It means them mentally, they know what a nice place should look like. They know how nice things will be. Now, if they keep Jamaica dirty, and if they keep Jamaica poorly developed, it means that they don't mean us any good.
True.
Now, because they don't mean us any good, when they negotiate deals with companies coming into Jamaica, they're not negotiating those deals with we the people in mind. They're negotiating those deals with their pockets in mind, with the next election in mind. And so what the UIC is going to do, we are going to create a Jamaica where the Jamaican people now have the handle of the knife. And so anybody coming into our country, coming into operate on our terms that are designed to protect our interests. So by us making all of Jamaica the tourism product, the all-inclusive industry will now be a smaller part of our offering. This means our farmers will now have ready access to sell more yam and banana and other Jamaican products to all of the other service providers across the country. So you're going to have a really good internal market now. A massively internal market will be developed. And this is going to change the game completely for us and for the tourism industry in total.
Which is right.
Yeah.
Trying to charge your phone. Oh man, I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, yeah, I love that. Now, before we close out and you give everybody all the links, I'm going to tell you I already have a link for you, a powerful link. One man dealing with the reggae sector, Mr. Nuffy Don, he said you are his new political party, and he wants to link up with you guys. So I'll give you the link, you know, on your line 3. That's good. So how can everybody, you know, meet you, follow you, donate, and just get the word out?
Absolutely. So wherever you go, just look for UIC Jamaica. So just type in UIC Jamaica anywhere, and you're going to find us. So our website is uicjamaica.com. Our YouTube page is UIC Liberty TV. They kind of shut us down right now, so you can find us on the other page, UIC Jamaica, the other YouTube link. You can find us on Facebook, UIC Jamaica. On Twitter, UIC Jamaica. Everywhere you go, UIC Jamaica, we're dead. Because this is the movement, this is the party that is committed to the people of Jamaica.
King, I thank you for your time and everything that you've done. And listen, I believe in you guys. I'll do my part and get the word out because it's all about the people, not the politics. All right? We have the link. Manners and respect. Dread out for now.
All the best. Take care.
Every time. All right. People, there it is. Mr. Joseph Patterson. You can catch this replay on YouTube, Daddy Red's Promotions. All right? I'm going to fling it on there now. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and show that you care. Because remember, Talking News is here. Big up Macca Diamond. Follow her. She's been doing everything. Yes, me artist. Big up Phoenix Flames, my artist. Big up Angel Eyes, my artist. And big up Queen Kamala, my artist. Because right now, we're going to have the Trenchtown Unity Fest, December the 10th in Trenchtown. All roads lead there. Frano Promotions is a sponsor. I'm a part of it. And like I said, please support Queen Kamala because she wants to stop the crime and violence. And if anyone wants to give me a line 3, and if you have anyone that you want me to link up and reason with for any issues, just let me know because it's all love, people, all right? So remember, I am Daddy Reds and I'm the reggae ambassador and I will always cause, let's pause, a musical massacre. Dread out for now. This is Meditative Dialogue.